How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to talk about why you should generally not invest in penny stocks. Before I begin, did you know that you can go on YouTube, translate some of my videos that are helping a lot of other people, and in turn you can submit this translation to me and I can approve it and it would get attached to the video itself. Of course, I'll give you credit in the video description and you'll know that you help someone if you contributed translations to a video that actually helps a lot of people. You can help a lot of other people in a different language as well. So check out how to do this. I'll leave a link down in the video description below to let you know how you can get started. Now let me tell you, I have invested in penny stocks before, and I did this long time ago back in high school when I was just starting out investing. What I noticed is that when I was first doing it, I didn't know what I was doing. I just go, oh, penny stocks, they appear really cheap and so I can afford to buy into it. Every single day I would read all the news about that company, and this made me think that I was actually investing because I was doing my research on it. However, what I did not realize that the overall trend of the price increase or decreases was basically out of my control, and this was basically just gambling for me. If you believe me to some extent, you can also check this for yourself. Just decide if the price was going to increase or decrease for the next day. Now write this down the day before that you think it's going to go up or down the next day. And then you track what your prediction is, and most likely the longer you track it, the longer it's going to converge towards 50%, because basically it's going to be a toss-up and you really have no control over if it's going to go higher or lower. Sometimes if you do not have enough data points, maybe you would have a little bit higher than 50% of correct guesses, a little bit less than 50% of incorrect guesses. If the market is continuously going up and is bringing all the prices of all the stock prices up, then you might have a higher chance of getting more correct in a row. Do note that over the long term, and if you plan to invest in penny stocks over the long term, you're going to converge towards basically 50%. If somehow in the long term, if you're able to guess the stock price better than 50% of the time, that means that you know something about the company that other people do not, and maybe you have some insight about the company. Maybe you think that it's going to go up much higher later on. Since you're starting from a penny stock, you think maybe, oh, in the future it's going to be a much more bigger stock in the future. Then if you're right about this due to your insight, then yeah, maybe you should be investing in a penny stock. But for the general case, for 99% of the investors, you're not going to have enough clarity into this stock in order to invest in it to make money. If you read any of the Warren Buffett newsletters, he's also not a big fan of penny stock for the very same reasons I'm outlining in this video. For one, penny stock is not as highly regulated as big cap stocks. This leads to a situation where some information could be not as transparent to the typical investor that's outside the company. You can see that for a small company, there might be rumors or something that sometimes people might know privileged information much sooner than a typical investor. This uneven distribution of information leads to a situation where some investors would have a leg up on other investors, which leads to an unfairness and leads to a typical investor not getting all the money that they should if they invested in a company in a fair market. Now, if you're an insider to the company and you somehow use some privileged information to get monetary gains on the open market, this is called insider trading. This is highly illegal, of course, but you can imagine that this piece of secret information might just get easily used and no one would actually know about it. So this happens a lot. And this kind of opaqueness in information that you get from a penny stock, it's the very reason why I stay completely away from them, because of this unfair practice. I'm not saying that every single penny stock company will actually do this or the people involved will actually do this, but it's just the structure of a penny stock and the opaqueness of the information that causes me not to invest in a penny stock. For example, if you have a penny stock company and there's a group of people and maybe there be some privileged people and somehow they overheard someone else about some merger or something, or maybe they're gonna get like really good business from some company and they know it's going through. Well, this is a situation ripe for exploitation and you as an outside investor has no control over it. Maybe they're not even directly related to the company, maybe they just overheard it at a coffee shop or something and they go and buy the stock ahead of the announcement. Then you can see how this can be unfair. And there's a lot of situations like this where transfer of information is kind of hard to track, and this is the very reason why investing in a penny stock is sort of dangerous, and you're at a disadvantage if you are a complete outsider and you're looking at a company from outside and only getting news articles, because by the time the news article comes out, that information is somewhat stale already. Now, before you invest in penny stocks, you gotta realize that there are so many different investments that you can partake in. For example, you can do P2P lending, you can do cryptocurrency that I just talked about, you can invest in large, middle, large cap stocks, you can buy bonds, you can buy real estate. There's just almost an infinite number of places where you can put your money, and they all have a different risk and a different reward. The point here is that there's always going to be different kinds of investments that seem really, really good. The great thing about it is if you have money to invest, you do not have to pull the trigger on every single investment that seems like a good deal. You can just wait until the risk versus reward profile is high enough, or that the opportunity looks like whatever you're buying into is a really, really good value. In other words, if you hold the money, you have infinite options. Once you deploy that money and bought into something, you do not have options until the point at which you sell. This is a powerful point, and it alludes to when people say cash is king. Cash really is king, because when you have cash, you are allowed to do whatever you please with it. The cash monetary value, you can buy whatever investments that you want. Don't forget to give me a like on this video, comment down below. Let me know what your views on penny stocks. I know some commenters out there have shown a great interest for penny stock. They say, oh yeah, invest in this or invest in that. Perhaps that's just spam, but let me know what you think about penny stocks yourself. If you're interested in supporting this channel, don't forget to check out my Audible link down in the video description below. In fact, you can check out the book, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, which is also Warren Buffett's favorite book. It teaches you the basics of intelligent investing. If you end up not liking the book, you can actually cancel the subscription and not owe a thing. You can still keep the audiobook and you can still help benefit this channel. I also have a 30-day free trial for Gamefly down below, where it's kind of like a Netflix thing for Gamefly, where you can also cancel this before the trial period ends and you will not owe a thing. You just need to try it out if you want to try something like this out. I also have a Patreon over here, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.